Hello everyone, my greetings to one and all. This is the 8th session on rural development. In the previous session, you have understood about the problems faced by farmers so far as agricultural marketing is concerned. I am Poonam Vohra from Govt Economics Learning Center. In this session, you will understand about various measures initiated by the government in order to minimize the problems faced by farmers in marketing their produce. So let us begin. There were various measures initiated by the government in order to improve the system of agricultural marketing. After independence, the first such measure introduced was establishment of regulated markets in order to create transparent marketing conditions to protect the farmers from exploitation by the brokers. Physical trading of agricultural marketing falls under the jurisdiction of state government. So each state has its own Agricultural Produce Market Committee, popularly known as APMC. It requires buyers and sellers to assemble at designated places known as regulated market yards. Once the state government declares a particular area to be a part of market committee, all wholesale trading in that area has to be undertaken at that designated market. This is beneficial for the consumers too. Another step, government also established cooperative societies under which marketing societies are formed by the farmers who get together and sell their produce collectively in order to take the advantage of collective bargaining. This enables them to obtain better prices for their produce. Best example here is milk cooperatives in Gujarat. Then an attempt was made to provide physical infrastructural facilities like roads, railways, warehouses, cold storages, processing units to the farming community in order to strengthen the marketing channels. Another measure initiated by government is the dissemination of information. It refers to speed of market-related information through electronic media. This is helpful for the farmers to take decisions as to what, how much to produce and sell, when and where, and at what price to sell. Credit facilities have been made available by the government to provide adequate amount of credit through cooperatives, regional rural banks and commercial banks. Then finally, different policy instruments were initiated in order to protect the farmers. Some of these are: 1. Minimum support price is being fixed by the government to buy excess supply of unsold stock from the farmers and maintains buffer stock of these products to use during emergencies. It's a step taken by the government to give assurance to the farmers for adequate return. Secondly, maintenance of buffer stock. The Food Corporation of India purchases wheat and rice at the procurement prices to maintain buffer stock. It is created during surpluses to be used during shortages. Hence, it maintains regularity in supply as well as stability in prices. Third such measure is public distribution system, which operates through a network of fair price shops which offer essential commodities to the economically weaker sections of society at prices below the market price. The aim is to protect the interest of farmers and to provide food grains at a subsidized rate to the poor. Though there has been an increase in the number of regulated markets, but they suffer from certain deficiencies too. There exist large number of intermediaries who do not add any value. Then farmers have to sell in the local mandis and only to the licensed intermediary. So there exists transaction cost becomes very high because of excessive travel by the farmers, which reduces their own profit margin. Then there exists poor grading and quality description to assist price estimation, poor storage leading to wastages, poor market infrastructure, and so on. A lot of efforts are still required to further improve the agricultural marketing situation. Now, have a look at these statements. There are certain gaps in it with few words given to you. You need to pick up the correct word that is suitable for the statement. I will read it for you. First statement is, presently India's agricultural markets are regulated by the center or states under the Agricultural Produce Marketing Committee APMC Act, popularly known as mandis. Statement 2. The sale of agricultural commodities can occur only in the mandis through auction or government controlled price. Statement 3. The newly introduced Farm Acts will not or will attract private sector investment. Please check your answer. For the statement 1, presently India's agricultural markets are regulated by the states under the APMC Act known as mandis. Statement 2, the sale of agricultural commodities can occur only in the mandis through auction. And statement 3, the newly introduced Farm Acts will attract private sector investment. Some attempts have been made by the government very recently in order to automate markets using information and technology tools. First such effort is to promote National Agriculture Market. This will be realized through Pan-India electronic platform that can facilitate the participation of buyers and sellers from all over the country. So adequate provision has been made for material accounting, fund processing, generation of e-bills, etc. This would increase the efficiency of intermediation and simplify the movement of goods from all over the country. Secondly, entry barriers have been removed by allowing the buyers to participate across all markets with a single license, and farmers are allowed to sell in any market of their choice. Auction of the produce should take place simultaneously on the electronic platform in all regulated markets all over the country. Accordingly, collection of sale proceeds from buyers and remitting it to the bank accounts of seller will be facilitated through electronic settlement. Then there will be removal of restrictions relating to inter and intra-state transportation of commodities. There will be a move towards warehouse-based trading. In the long run, marketing system needs to transform into a warehouse-based trading system. That is, a farmer brings his produce to a warehouse, the produce is graded as per a standard protocol, and a farmer is issued a negotiable warehouse receipt. This will guarantee the grade quality of the produce for a certain time period. For that, there will be involvement of other stakeholders and private players along with farmer-producer organizations will be encouraged. that is public-private partnership, will be emphasized. This will be just like Maharashtra model of linking farmers producers organizations with Apni Mandi, or public-private partnership model as adopted by Karnataka with the help of National Commodity and Derivative Exchange Limited can also be adopted by other states. Existing infrastructure related to logistics, supply chain, storage also needs to be improved. That is, to improve market infrastructure. There can also be reliable assaying and quality testing infrastructure that can be established in every market so that quality-based bidding can be encouraged. Besides public-private partnership model, build, operate, transfer model also need to be explored, and formation of SPV, that is special purpose vehicle, can be a way forward to implement the strategy. Though government has announced in its budget a new scheme, that is Unified Agricultural Marketing Scheme, has been announced by the government for e-market platform that will be deployed in regulated wholesale markets. So a lot of recent efforts have been made by the government in order to improve the status of regulated agricultural markets. Now have a look at this particular question. On one side of the table, there are 3 acts relating to agricultural sector are given. On the other side of the table, the explanation of these 3 acts are there. You need to match which act corresponds to a particular statement. So let me read it for you. The 3 acts are: 1. Farmers Produce, Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Act 2020. 2. Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Services Act 2020. And 3. Essential Commodities Amendment Act 2020. The 3 statements are: 1. It allows buyers to purchase and stock commodities without getting called a hoarder and being vulnerable to penal action. 2. Allows farmers to bypass APMC and sell the produce directly to a big company, warehouses, cold storage chains, or even set up a shop to sell directly to the consumers. And 3. Allows for a farmer to get into a contract with a buyer to cultivate specific products at a specific price. This ensures that farmers knows the price they will get even before cultivation starts. Match the 2 categories. So please check your answer. First act, that is Farmers Produce, Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Act 2020, allows farmers to bypass APMC and sell the produce directly to a big company, warehouses, cold storage chains, or even set up shop to sell directly to the consumers. Second act, that is Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Services Act 2020, allows for a farmer to get into a contract with a buyer to cultivate specific product for a specific price. This ensures that farmers know the price they will get even before cultivation starts. And the third act, that is Essential Commodities Amendment Act of 2020, allows buyers to purchase and stock commodities without getting called a hoarder and being vulnerable to penal action. These are the 3 laws which were recently introduced by the government and obviously not acceptable to the farmers. With this, the session comes to an end. I hope you have understood the measures initiated by government in order to minimize the problems faced by the farmers so far as marketing of their produce is concerned. Though you have answered few questions in between, but these are not enough. You need to update yourself constantly with the latest trends in agricultural sector. So, next session would focus on agricultural diversification. Till then, keep reading and keep a track over the happenings in agricultural sector. See you in the next session.